Hello dear students, welcome once again to our channel Maths in Minutes with Priya. Today we are going to deal with word problems of simultaneous equations. Simultaneous equations part 2, clip 37. In clip 36, that is part 1, we learned 3 methods of solving simultaneous equations. Do you remember them? Substitution method, elimination method, and third one was the shortcut. So I hope you watched that video and you are already expert using those 3 methods. That time I also said that it's you who is going to decide which method you want to use, in which method you are more comfortable. Today I'm going to discuss with you few word problems where we are going to apply these methods and we are going to decide which method is better for which type of problems, because sometimes it happens that substitution method saves our time, sometimes elimination method saves our time, and sometimes instead of these two conventional methods it's better to use shortcut. So we are going to see these different types of examples today, and at the end of this session we are also going to deal with a tricky problem that was asked in previous year examination. So watch this video till end, and if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel Maths in Minutes with Priya, please do so. It's absolutely free. So now let's begin to solve our first example. Anil bought some pens and pencils to distribute among children. Number of pens were 4 less than pencils, where total items were 50 in number. Find the number of pens and pencils. And this is very easy example. I know it is very easy, but why I am covering it here? To show you when to use which method, how to decide which method is to be used. So now here I am going to start with, let number of pens be x and number of pencils be y. So what do we have? They are saying total items were 50, so we have x plus y is equal to 50. That we have. Another information is given to us. Number of pens is 4 less than pencils. This is pen and it is 4 less than pencil. That means y minus 4 is equal to x. This is given to us. See, now some students get confused in how to write this in equation form. Number of pens is, now number of pen is x. X is 4 less than y, that means y is more. So when you subtract 4 from y, you get x. That's how you translate this information into equation. Correct? Now if I take this x here, it will be y minus x is equal to 4. Take x, all unknowns on left hand side, all constants on right hand side. Now let me call this as 1 and let me call this as 2. Now we have to decide whether we are going to use elimination, substitution or shortcut. If I see here, I can see plus x and minus x. So when I add, x will be eliminated and I'll be left with y. So here elimination method will save our time. We don't have to use any other method. So I'm going to add 1 and 2. X minus x, so x will be eliminated. Y plus y will be 2y. 50 and 4 will be 54. So y is 27. 54 divided by 2, that is 27. And substitute y in equation 1 or 2. I am substituting in the equation 1. Therefore x is equal to 23. So my answer is ready. Number of pens is 23. Number of pencils is 27. So here what we did? We used elimination method. It saved our time. Right? So always don't go for shortcut. Here elimination method itself is a shortcut. Getting my point? So let's move to next example. In a book exhibition, storybooks cost rupees 50 each and novels cost rupees 125 each. Meena bought 15 books amounting to rupees 1125. Find the number of novels she bought. So how we are going to start with number of novels? Let it be n. Number of storybooks, let it be s. See, take one care always. When I assume, instead of x and y, I am assuming the alphabets n and s. So while writing s, if you write it like this, what will happen when you solve? Sometimes you yourself get confused whether it is s or 5. And then calculation mistakes happen. So instead of writing s like this, write it like this or like this, like $sign, so that you don't get confused. It's for our own convenience. Nobody is going to see how you write s. So I'm writing s like this, n and s. Number of novels are n, number of storybooks are s. And even I take additional care when I assume q, because q and 9, they again look similar. So when I write q, I give an additional bar like this, so that I can differentiate between q and 9. When I assume o, suppose number of oranges I am assuming o, then I give a dot like this or a line like this, so that I can differentiate between 0 and O. Otherwise, when I solve, I myself get confused whether it was 0 or O. So it shouldn't happen. It's better that you use the alphabets with some trick. So here, instead of writing plain S, I'm writing it like this. So number of novels is N and number of storybooks are S. And Meena bought 15 books. So what is given to us? N plus S is equal to 15. This is given to us. Storybooks cost 50 each and novels cost 125 each. So total novels were N and each novel cost was 125. So total novels cost was 125 N. And storybook cost each was 50. She bought S number of storybooks, so that cost will be 50s. That amount will be 50s, and total amount of bill was 1125. These two informations are given to us. And what is the question? Number of novels. What is N? We don't want S. We want only N. So which method we can use here? Now if I go for using elimination, I'll have to multiply this by either 125 or 50, then eliminate something. For shortcut also I will need few calculations, but here substitution method will save our time. Look how we want N, so we can write S in terms of N. Here, from here, what do we get? S is equal to 15 minus N. From this equation we get S is equal to 15 minus N. So we will substitute this value of S in this equation. Got my point? From equation 1, what we have, S is equal to 15 minus N, and I substitute this value of S in equation 2 because I want N. So I am substituting S with N. This is 750. 50 multiplied by 15 is 750. Now take 750 on this side. 125n minus 50n is 75n. 75n 1125 minus 750, this will be 375. So n is equal to 375 upon 75. For doing this type of divisions fast, you must know few divisibility rules. So watch my videos on divisibility rules on factorization. There are many videos. I think clip 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All those initial clips are based on this. 75 is divisible by 25 and 375 is also divisible by 25. We have covered many divisibility rules and shortcuts. 25 3s are, 25 1s are, and then 25 5s are, and 5s are. So n is equal to 5. Number of novels, that's the question. What is the number of novels? So here if you see, substitution method saved our time. Correct? Next example. In a class, boys and girls are in the ratio 4:5. 220 chocolates are divided among them such that each boy gets 3 chocolates and each girl gets 2 chocolates. Find the number of boys and girls. So let us translate this information into equation. I am assuming number of boys as B, number of girls as G. What is given to me? Boys to girls ratio is 4:5. This is given to me. If I cross multiply, what do I get? 5B is equal to 4G. Take all unknowns on one side. So 5B minus 4G is equal to 0. That will be my equation number 1. Got it? So this ratio I transformed into the equation. Another information is 220 chocolates are distributed. How? Each boy gets 3 chocolates. Number of boys are B and each boy gets 3 chocolates. That means total number of chocolates given to boys will be B. Each girl gets 2 chocolates and number of girls are G. So chocolates given to girls will be 2G and total number of chocolates is 220. So this is our equation number 2. Getting it? The question is find the number of boys and girls. So we want B and G both. So here if you look at this coefficient, what we observe that instead of using elimination or substitution, here shortcut will be better. Are you getting it? Here shortcut will be better. So let's see how to use the shortcut. If you watched our last clip, you must be remembering that for using the shortcut, we must write B below B, G below G and constant below constant. That is, if it is XY, then X below X, Y below Y. Do you remember that? So I have these two equations which I formed using the given information. I have wrote those equations here in the form B below B, G below G. Now if I need to find B or G, suppose I need to find B, then what I need to do? I need to completely ignore it. So I want to find suppose B. So I am completely ignoring this and I'll concentrate on this. And if you remember, I showed you this drawing, bracket minus bracket. So to find B, I am completely ignoring this. Take the cross multiplication product. Minus 4 into 220, that is minus 880. 0 into 2 is 0. Now come to left side. Minus 4 into 3 is minus 12. 5 into 2 is 10. So B is equal to minus 880 upon minus 12 minus 10 is minus 22. Both minus, so answer will be plus. 21 ones are 20, 22 ones are 22 fours are 88 and 0. So B is equal to 40. Number of boys is 40. If I substitute it here in equation 1, this is equation 1. 5 in the bracket 40 minus 4G is equal to 0. So 200 take this 4g on right hand side. 200 is equal to 4 multiplied by g. So g is 200 divided by 4, that is 50. So your answer is ready. Here shortcut saved our time. So instead of substitution and elimination, we used shortcut. So we discussed these three types of example where these different types of methods were useful. Now we are going to discuss one tricky example that was asked in previous papers. So let's solve that. In a farmhouse, there are pigs, hens and cocks. Total number of heads when counted was 95 and total number of legs was 270. Find the number of pigs, and these were the options. 30, 40, 45 cannot be determined. Sometimes option is cannot be determined, sometimes option is insufficient data. So any of them is possible. And also there is one option, none of these. Right? Now they are saying that there are three types of animals. So I am going to assume number of pigs as P, number of cocks as C, and number of hens as H. It becomes easy to identify. Pigs, P for pigs, C for cocks. Now total number of heads was 95. That means total animals were 95. Every animal has one head only. So P plus C plus H is 95. This is given to me. Total number of legs was 270. Pig has how many legs? 4 legs. So total legs will be 4P. Cock has 2 legs. So 2C. Hens also have 2 legs. So 2H is equal to 270. This is also given to me. Now here there are three unknowns, P, C and H, but equations are only 2. In maths there is a rule that when there is one unknown, one equation is sufficient. But when there are two unknowns, there have to be two equations. If there are three unknowns, there have to be 3 equations. That is rule of mathematics. So here also there are 3 unknowns, but we only have 2 equations. So we may think that this data is insufficient or it cannot be determined. So sometimes there will be option cannot be determined, sometimes there will be option insufficient data, and we will be tempted to mark this cannot be determined or insufficient data. We will be tempted to mark this. But though this is mathematical truth that for finding 3 unknowns we need 3 equations, we are not asked to find 3 unknowns. What are we asked to find? We are asked to find number of pigs. So we want value of P only. We are not asked what is C, what is H. If they had asked more things like that, then we would have thought whether 2 unknowns and 3 unknowns and 2 equations are sufficient or not. But they are not asking anything like this. They are asking value of P. So let's see, can we find out it using these 2 equations. Here what we can do, here look at this. 2C and 2H. Can I take 2 as common factor? 2 in the bracket C plus H, that is 270. Every term is divisible by 2. So if I divide whole equation by 2, I get 2P plus C plus H is equal to, when I divide this by 2, I get 135. So I have this equation. I have this equation, say 1, and I have this equation, say 2. I want number of pigs. So can I write C plus H in the form of P? I don't want C and H. So I am going to substitute C plus H with P. C plus H will be 95 minus P. I'm taking P to this side. And now this C plus H I will substitute by P. Instead of C plus H, now I am writing 95 minus P. 2P minus P is P. Take 95 on this side. 135 minus 95 is 40. So your answer is ready. This is your answer. Option B. So data was sufficient. So insufficient data or cannot be determined. None of these. Nothing is right. Only 40 is right. So don't jump to conclusion that when there are 3 unknowns, there have to be 3 equations, and don't blindly mark this insufficient data or cannot be determined type things, because here we are not asked the values of 3 unknowns. We are asked value of only 1 unknown, and we could find it. Very clear? So we did a quick revision on simultaneous equation, all 3 methods. So please watch this part 1 and part 2 so that you become expert in solving simultaneous equation. From next part we are going to solve problem based on numbers, and we are going to use simultaneous equations. So you must be very fast in solving simultaneous equations. So let's meet in next part. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. It's absolutely free. Suggest to your friends also so that they can also get benefit. You can do some group study. I'm waiting for your likes, comments and suggestions. So see you till then. Stay happy and stay blessed. Bye for today.